To me, it looks like a powdery substance in the base of the bag, and coming from Colombia, there's a fair chance it's going to be coke.
The passenger's story about where the bag came from raises suspicions even further.
The passenger also stated that he picked the bag up in Colombia when his other bag fell apart.
The case will now be closely inspected, while back at the bench, the passenger has an unusual request.
Your wife? Okay. He wants to contact his wife.
He won't be making calls anytime soon. Suspecting they may be dealing with a drug courier, the man is escorted to a private room. But then, officers receive some concerning information.
Yeah, what's going on? Any associated trouble?
It appears the passenger may not have been travelling alone, and his companion has already gone through the gates.
Okay.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Hablas español, no es cierto? Sí, español. Bienvenida, ¿cómo estás?
Both passengers have travelled from Colombia. They have the same surname, and their travel movements are almost identical. Officers will now carry out a full bag search to determine if this woman also has a concealment in her luggage.
3 children. 3 children? And why did they not travel with you on your holiday?
No holiday, because my mom very sick in this moment.
Okay.
So
And was that sudden, or have you known for a long time?
No, just for the disease, for a long time.
Yep.
Just I visited my mom for 1 month.
Do you want to put these back in your wallet?
While the female passenger is questioned, inside the interview room, a swab is taken from the lining of the male passenger's suitcase. The test will reveal if there are any traces of illicit substances. But the results of a swab test taken from the lining were unexpected.
We've iron scanned the bag, it's come back negative. Hopefully it's just because it's been cleaned down really well and there's no contamination anywhere. So we're going to take the drill into the room now. We're going to make a little hole and see what the substance is, see whether it is actually something prohibited or not.
Once inside the room, officers drill through the lining and into the base of the suitcase. They locate a substance and extract a sample and immediately take it to the examination room for testing.
As you can see there, it's like a very thick sort of wet paste.
Narcotics are usually in a powder form, but officers are confident that this well-concealed paste is an illicit substance.
It was in the very bottom of the bag, sealed in plastic.
First offender laser technology should give a highly accurate reading of what the substance is.
All right, see if it comes up.
And while the test is conducted, outside the woman's suitcase is x-rayed to check for any possible concealments.
That appears to be clear.
It's good news for the female passenger, but the male passenger may not be so lucky.
It's come up positive for cocaine hydrochloride.
With this confirmation, Officer Daniel takes the next step.
Now I've contacted the Australian Federal Police and they'll come and have a chat to the traveller and take over the investigation.
But the investigation into the female passenger is not over yet.
No, just leave these out. Yeah.
The pasty white substance found in the man's suitcase is highly unusual, and Officer Nestor notices this woman has a bottle of liquid that appears to be very similar.
The concealment, it wasn't a powder, the cocaine, it was like a gel, liquidy paste substance. So when we found some bottles, we just had to assess them a bit further, make sure the substance inside wasn't a risk at all.
The liquid in the bottles is tested, and after a thorough investigation into the female passenger, Border Force officers are satisfied she is not carrying any narcotics.
Yeah, the bottles were fine. Yeah, the passenger was free to go.
The Australian Federal Police arrive and the woman is free to leave. Officers are now sure she is not connected to the male passenger.
It appeared it was just a couple of coincidences with the travel companion, same surname, same check-in port, and really close timing together. But since then we've cleared her and spoken to her family here, so she doesn't seem to be a risk.
The male passenger's suitcase containing the cocaine is seized and he is taken into custody by the Australian Federal Police.
Have a look at this. What do you reckon this is?
What do you got, Phil?
I'm not sure what it is.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, it looks like a head of some sort.
Definitely looks like a head.
Is it a skull or is it a fake?
I don't know, mate. I can see some ears, glass eyes potentially.
Some sort of big cat by the look of it. But
Got some claws by the looks of it there, mate. Some claws, but there's a lot of organic material here.
what's the box say?
The bizarre-looking consignment is labelled as a rug,
Wool rug?
but the indications are that there could be something else in the box.
Coming from Tanzania in Africa.
Yep.
So, some sort of big cat.
Maybe, mate, maybe.
Something like that could bring all sorts of disease into the country.
Yep. So there's a couple of risks associated with it. If it is an actual taxidermied animal, we need to make sure that it's free from biosecurity risk material. Make sure there's no live insects on the actual taxiderm itself, and also that the animal may be coming from Tanzania, an endangered species. All right, Phil, we just had this open by Australia Post, so let's conduct our inspection. I want to make sure when we open it up that we are not looking at a real animal here. Floor rug. All right, what have we got?
Not much so far.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Mate, that's real.
Well, look at those claws.
I think we need to...
Look at these.
Yeah, that's real.
I think we better take it out of
I
the
think
box.
we need to take it out of the box, mate. This looks big. This out, mate.
Officers unpacked the box to find two separate items.
Whoa, hang on, we've got two animals in here, mate.
The hide of a leopard
Well, it's definitely some form of rug, but
Yeah, but they're real.
That looks like-
that's real skin out of it.
it's a real animal. All right, Phil, we'll unroll this, mate.
while the other is a massive lion.
Well, when's it going to stop?
Look at the size of that. Keep going, mate. How
That's
big is
huge.
this? That's huge.
That's a mighty beast.
It's a big animal.
That's a lot of cat.
It's probably one of the largest I've seen. I get to see a lot of different taxiderms come through, usually a lot of small animals, but this is the biggest I've had so far.
Looks like he's had a few scraps. There's a few little scars on him out in the savannah. Pity he's not out in the savannah anymore.
Sad, mate, sad. Yeah. I feel sadness in this day and age. It's such a beautiful big creature has to be killed for someone to lay on the floor and put their feet on. It's quite sad. Well, the head's definitely plastic, Phil. Glass eyes.
Yep.
The whiskers are real. And that's all plastic. We're making sure that there's no visible meat left over from when the animal was taxidermed. Also make sure the hide doesn't have any insects on it. Also make sure that there's nothing that's been picked up from Tanzania and placed in the box.
Yeah, much the same condition.
Yep.
Both pelts receive a thorough examination
I can't see any biosecurity risk on this one.
and they come up clean.
Well, I think these are okay to now
Yeah.
pass on to Australian Customs and Border Protection
Yep.
for them to confirm whether or not this guy has adequate paperwork. Any animals like this, especially cats, are under the Convention of International Trade Against Endangered Species. So I'll refer these to Australian Customs and Border Protection Service, and they will then conduct a research to make sure that this person has sufficient permits to import a product like this.
It's a shame, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, it is a
two
shame,
beautiful
mate.
Big cats like this, you know, just
Having
the end of
to,
their life so somebody could wipe their feet on.
Wipe their feet on such a beautiful creature.